All right. Hello, fellow traders, and welcome to today's live Technical Tuesday session. Today is January 7th, 2020, and it's the first Technical Tuesday session of this new year of 2020. I know that sounds kind of weird, 2020. Who would have thought? Of course, it just sounds weird, but thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching this live webinar, this live Technical Tuesday session, where we're going to primarily talk about the fiber, which is the Euro USD and the US dollar Japanese yen. This will be a short technical Tuesday session. We won't extend this out for too long, but what we're going to share with you guys is our bias for the Euro USD, what we expect to happen, how we're going to trade the Euro USD, and even the US dollar Japanese yen. So then I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys have your pen and pad and your paper, and you guys do take notes. But good morning, Brian. Good morning, Stuart. Good morning, or hello, Brandon. Thank you guys for coming. So with that said, I guess we can dive right into these charts and try to give you guys an understanding of what's taking place in the market. So then, as you guys know, price has been trapped within this ascending channel on the daily chart for some time now. We see price traversing back and forth between support, channel support, and channel resistance. So then we see it bounce back and forth and back up again. But while it was traversing back and forth between channel support and channel resistance, it created certain price action setups. We saw right here a double top. Price expanded to the downside, or retraced, fell lower to retest this psychological or institutional zone at $1.10. And then from there, we saw price expand and push higher, or rally higher, breaking this institutional level at $1.11, and price retraced, and then we had another retest of these highs up here around 1.1230, this area right here. But as you can see, price corrected lower. We had a nice correction lower, and price tested this 20-day moving average. This blue line represents this 20-day moving average, and it also tested daily structure support. And if you draw on your Fibonacci, you can see that it also tested what we know is the golden ratio, which is our 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. And for those who do not know, the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, for some reason, it always works like magic. Some people call it God's fingerprint, but it's called the golden ratio, and typically price responds right around the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. So then, you know, typically when we see this type of move, this type of price action, especially what we saw, I believe this was on Friday, January 3rd, we saw this bullish candlestick with this wick to the downside. You know, we should have looked for an opportunity to buy, and there was an opportunity to buy the Euro USD. If we drop down to a smaller time frame, you'll be able to see that. So then, for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is drop down to the 1 hour frame, because on the 1 hour time frame, we see a particular pattern form. Now, for those who are familiar with classical chart patterns, what do we see around this area right here? What classical setup is this? Because, you know, this will let us know how we should approach this particular trading opportunity, or this pair. Brandon says head and shoulders, and I'm just gonna Brian said head and shoulders. Okay, yeah, and they're correct, but the real name is really an inverted head and shoulders, or a reverse head and shoulders. But you know, we get the point. Okay, Stuart chimed in. He says inverted head and shoulders, I, H, and S. Yes, that's exactly what we see. We see an inverted head and shoulders pattern. We see, let me just draw this in for you. So then price expanded lower. Oops. We see this left shoulder. Let me remove this. For some reason, it wanted to. Okay, so then we see that price created this left shoulder. Then it fell down and created this head, and then it retested this area right here. It made an equal high. And whenever it makes an equal high, then that's when you have to prepare for a possible head and inverted head and shoulders pattern to form. So then from here we saw that price retraced, and then we saw price explode higher from here, testing the $1.12 institutional or psychological level, which is a key level that you have to pay attention to. But we saw this inverted head and shoulders pattern form. And whenever we see that pattern form, then we need to look for a buying opportunity on a retracement in price. Price broke above this neckline right here, creating a higher high and a higher close. Now what we have to do is wait for a retracement to take place before we decide to enter a long. And as you can see, price is testing this neckline zone now. If you look at price now, it's been in this zone for a while. It's been testing this particular area for a while. So then there's a possibility for us to see price reverse right around this area, but we have to see bullish confirmation. So then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little bit patient on this pair and wait for price. Let me just change the color a bit and change this. I'm going to wait for price to break above this trend line right here before I even decide to go long. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to look to go short. I'm not even going to look to go long yet or look for a buying opportunity yet until we get a nice clear break of this descending trend line resistance on the 1 hour chart, because it's pretty apparent we do have this inverted head and shoulders pattern. Price created a higher high. Now what we have to look for is that, higher low to form and then confirmation of our entry. And we will get that confirmation once we see price break above this descending trend line resistance. So then, of course, that's what we're waiting for right now. And when we do trade this is how it's going to look. Let me just change the color a bit. We're going to wait for price to break above this trend line. And then from there, we're going to wait to see if we can get a retest of this trend line before we trade this higher. And if we do trade this higher, then we're going to target somewhere around the $1.1220 area. Somewhere around this particular zone or area is what we would target for this pair. Because one thing I want to point out is the fact that, price is correcting, that this is a complex correction, but really this complex correction is really a what? Let me just clone this line. I'm going to see if you guys could sort of figure this out. What is this right here? What pattern do we see now that also supports a bullish move to the upside? Now, for those that's been with us for a while, you would probably know what it is. We don't really talk about it too much, but we also see another pattern that can confirm a particular move to the upside. So then let me maybe draw this line, and then that can give you a clue of what we're talking about. Okay, yes, someone chimed in and said a bull flag, and that's exactly what we see. Thanks, Marie. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Stuart, for chiming in. So then what we see right now is a bull flag pattern. And whenever you see a bullish flag pattern, then that is a sign of bullish continuation, especially if we get a break to the upside. It's just a sign that we should see that move or that trend continue. So then we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern, which supports a bullish rotation to the upside, and we have this bullish flag. So then we have a pattern within a pattern. We have this double confirmation. So then what we want to do is wait for that bull flag pattern to complete by breaking above this trend line, waiting to see if we can get a retest. If we don't get a retest, then that's fine. We'll just enter a long, because sometimes you can enter a long on the immediate break. You'll just place your stop behind this wick right here, and you'll ride it out until we hit this area right here. Now, let me clone this line, because typically the market has symmetry. The market is symmetrical and harmonic by nature. So then what we could do is place this right where this low is of this wick right here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this is the wick that was created. This is the low that was created on this pullback, and as you can see, it goes right around to the same area, right around 1216, that area. But really, you got to play it by ear. This whole zone right here will function as a target area. So that's how we're going to trade the Euro USD. We're just going to wait for price to maybe enter this zone right here. This will be where we will close out our trade if we do see this price action take place for the Euro USD. But I hope you guys got something out of this particular analysis. Now let me know if there's any questions before we move forward. Before we move forward and talk about anything else, just let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, then we can definitely move forward and talk about our next pair. But for the meanwhile, just wait for this to happen. Let patience be a virtue that you live by, because it's very important in trading. You have to exercise discipline and patience. We don't want to enter this buy prematurely. We have to wait for confirmation, because for all you know, price could still continue lower and break these lows down here. And if it does break this low down here, then guess what? We'll be possibly changing our bias. So then that's something for you guys to really know. We could actually see a break to the downside, and if we do get that break and close below this swing low right here, then that negates everything that we see up here. None of this will matter, because we could be seeing a change in sentiment, and price could be having a sentiment to the downside if we do see price break these lows down here. So then if there aren't any questions, then we can move on to our next pair. Going once, going twice. Okay, all right. So then what we're going to do right now is move to our next pair, which is the US dollar Japanese yen. And for this pair, what we're going to do is go down to the daily, or go up to the daily first, and then go to the pairs. And let me go to the daily, and let me jump right into the US dollar Japanese yen. All right, guys. So then right now we see that we're looking at the US dollar Japanese yen. We're currently looking at the daily time frame, and as you can see, for a while price was moving in this ascending channel, which is really what we would call well, whenever you see this ascending channel take place, or this rising channel, what it lets us know is that there could be a change in sentiment, and we should expect a bearish rotation to take place. Yeah, hello. Checking 1 2 3, checking. Yeah, I think we had yeah, for some reason our internet went off for a while. So yeah, so then yeah, the internet went off for a while. So then right now what we're going to do is share the screen, and yeah. All right, so then let me do that right now. Okay, screen sharing. Yeah, I know we apologize, guys, for the technical difficulties. I know our internet went off for a little bit, but we're going to actually log right back in. Okay, all right, so good, we're back on. Hopefully we don't get kicked out again. All right, so then we see that price created this ascending channel, which is a sign that our bullish momentum is weakening. Momentum is weakening, is dwindling, and we could see a bearish rotation take place. And we really saw that bearish rotation really complete once we had this double top. We created this double top, and price expanded lower, breaking and closing below this double top pattern. So then we saw break and close below, and And then yeah, we saw this break and close below, and what we see right now is a bullish reaction right around 108 institutional level, which is not too far from our daily structure support as well. So then we saw this bullish reaction. So then we're still expecting a bias to the downside. You know, we had this break below, and price could correct a little bit higher if we draw in our Fibonacci from this high all the way down to these lows right here of this last impulsive wave. There's a possibility for us to see price correct all the way up to this area right here. So then this is definitely the area or zone that we're going to pay attention to. Price could expand up into this area right here, and then this is where we see a continuation of that slide lower, and that's what we're expecting to happen for this particular pair. But one thing I want to point out is that there's a possibility for us to take advantage of a buying opportunity right in this particular area where price is right now. And that's why we have this green arrow, because we was looking for that to take place for a number of reasons. But if you look down low, you can see that stochastics is near oversold. So then there was a reason for us to consider going long. And if you drop down to the 4-hour chart, we can see that price was consolidating right around this area. We can see it went from a red candle to a green candle, to a red, to a green, to a red, to a green, to a red, to a green. Pretty much it went back and forth between the red, green candle, red, green candle, red, green candle, which shows us that really during this time the market was in consolidation, and you'll probably see that consolidation a little bit better on a smaller time frame. But for now, what we're looking for is for price to retrace down into this zone right here, where we have this blue cyan box, which is between the 108 institutional level and 108.15, I believe, 108.15. We're waiting for price to correct lower into this particular zone right here before we consider going long. And there's a reason for that. Now, if you drop down to the 1 hour, we'll see that consolidation a little bit better. All right, so then we see this consolidation right here on the 1 hour time frame. Price was consolidating, and it sort of created really like a head and shoulders pattern. Let me just draw this in for you guys, for those that may not be able to see it. It created an inverted head and shoulders type setup. Let me just draw this in right now. So then we see that price made this move right here. Then to correct that higher, made a lower high. And then from here, we got a lower low, lower close. And then from here, we see the breakout happen in price. Price broke above our neckline right here. It went to test it and then popped up higher, but we're really in consolidation right now. Price could push higher and continue expanding to the upside. But what we want to do is wait for price to hit this area right here, hit this zone. This is our optimal zone right here that we're looking for price to retrace to. And if we do get a retracement to that zone between 108 and 108.15, this area right here, we do see price correct deeper into the zone, then that's when we'll look for that bullish confirmation, and we'll trade this higher all the way up to this zone again, because we're expecting this zone to still function as resistance up here. But that's what we're looking for right now. And like I said, price could expand higher into this zone right here. This is what we're really looking where we're expecting price to go up here. But the thing is that oftentimes you want to go for targets that are conservative. So then I think if we do get a retracement up into this, down into this zone right here, we can look for that bullish confirmation and trade this to the upside all the way back up to these highs again. So that's what we're expecting for the US dollar, Japanese yen. And as you guys know, we could see an expansion to the upside still. So if that does take place, then that's okay. Because guess what? Right around this area, we'll be looking for a what? a shorting opportunity from there. So then if price does get into the zone, this is when we'll look for our shorting opportunity. All right. So then, yeah, that's it, guys. Are there any questions about the US dollar Japanese yen before we conclude today's Technical Tuesday session? I know I kind of rushed through quite a bit, but yeah, this is what we see. And what we're going to do is play this pair with patience. I know the US dollar Japanese yen is one of the harder currency pairs to trade right now. It's kind of hard to really figure out what's happening on this particular currency pair, but we're expecting for price to eventually either retrace down here to this zone, but if not, if it continues to expand higher, we'll be looking for a selling opportunity somewhere within this zone right here between 108.65 and 108.90, you could say. All right. So yeah, if we don't have any questions, then we can definitely end today's session for today. I hope you guys got something out of today's session. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I know we had some technical difficulties, but I'm glad we were able to get right back on. But if you guys have any questions about anything, about trading, or even about our live trading community, because of course we go over more pairs and we cover more information in our live trading community. So if you guys are interested in that, we still have our $1 trial offer. But to be honest with you, I don't know how much longer I'm going to offer that $1 trial offer. I'm thinking about ending it pretty soon, but we'll see. But while we still have that offer, you guys should take advantage of it because I think it will help you guys improve as a trader. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much. And we'll definitely send you guys the recording of this live trading session. Thanks, Marie. Thanks for coming. I know Marie is one of our private members. But that's it, guys. And remember to always count your blessings, not your pips. We will definitely see you guys next week on our next Technical Tuesday session. Or if you want to join our private trading community, you can for $1. Test us out for 14 days. And then from there, you can decide whether or not you want to continue with us. And I believe that will be a good decision for you. Anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for everything. We'll talk to you guys later. All right.